Hello and welcome to SatTV Week, the news programme for the global satellite industry. I'm Richard Hooper. The International Chamber of Commerce of Paris has drawn its conclusions on the first phase of the arbitration initiated by Eutelsat Communications against SES in October 2012. Eutelsat's request for arbitration was triggered by the claim by SES of the right to use 500 MHz of bandwidth in the 28.2-28.5 degrees east orbital arc, according to an agreement signed between SES and Media Broadcast in 2005 and only disclosed in October 2012. This request is grounded on a breach by SES of the Inter-System Coordination Agreement signed with Eutelsat in 1999. The ICA signed by both operators covers use of certain orbital positions in Ku frequency bands over Europe, and also favours competition in the satellite communications sector. The conclusions and statements by both Eutelsat and SES can be viewed at www.satellite-evolution.com. IBC 2013 closed today, having welcomed a record number of attendees through its doors. A total of 52,974 attendees, conference delegates, exhibition visitors, exhibitors and press came together to share knowledge, conduct valuable business and set the industry agenda. While it is the sheer diversity of the industry that is addressed in both the conference and the exhibition, inevitably some key themes shine through. This year there was huge interest not just in cloud services but particularly in the possibilities of big data to provide detailed information on audiences and thereby deliver tailored services and drive revenues. 4K resolution and beyond was another key talking point, with stunning demonstrations on many stands. Brian Dolby spoke to Peter Ostyapak, VP Media Project Management at Intelsat, about how the company are preparing for 4K.
Peter, we've got this fantastic backdrop to this interview. 4K TV is absolutely brilliant, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's a magnificent picture and a great, very immersive experience for the viewer.
How have you been preparing for it? What are some of the processes that go into making this possible?
So really, as a company, we're looking at 4K from three different perspectives. First, we are in touch with a lot of the companies that are part of the ecosystem of delivery of the 4K. It takes technologies anywhere from the studio and the production all the way to the TV manufacturers to actually deliver the 4K signal. And you need all the pieces to be there to be able to deliver that signal. And quite frankly, today, not all the pieces of the technology are there. But by staying in touch with all the different players in the ecosystem, we are able to pretty accurately, I think, judge when the 4K is actually going to become reality as the service. Secondly, we've been involved in preparing the demos of the 4K over the satellite, and this is really to prove that today satellite companies and the satellite infrastructure is already prepared to support the 4K. What you see here today on the screen is the demonstration of a true 4K Ultra HD, which is 422, 10 bits with the 60 frames per second, and we're transmitting that over the satellite with the data rate of 100 megabits per second. And we're actually able to support that on the 33 megahertz transponder on our IS-1 West satellite. We chose to do the contribution feed as a concept of proof because it's most difficult and challenging to fit on the satellite. For the secondary distribution in the future with the highly efficient video coding, you'll be able to do that at about 20 to 30 megabits per second. So we thought that 100 megabits per second is a kind of a worst case scenario, and being able to demonstrate that we can support that today proves the point. And thirdly, what we are doing is by talking with our customers, we are forecasting a future demand and number of channels being launched on the HD. So as a satellite company, we can properly plan our future satellite launches and the capacity that can support the 4K for our customers into the future.
Newtech and Telediffusion Algeria have signed a multi-million euro contract to deploy several of Newtech's interactive satellite terminals, running on the ASBU multimedia exchange network over satellite. The award-winning Minos network is operated by the Arab States Broadcasting Union on the satellite Arabsat 5A. By deploying the new technology hosted on the ASBU platform, TDA will now have access to their own IP-based and fully automated secure virtual network for contribution and exchange of radio and TV content at low and high bit rates. Now here is Emily with news of the Epsilon launch.
Japan has launched the nation's first new rocket into space in 12 years. Epsilon, which is carrying a telescope to observe the solar system, was launched at half the production and launch costs of the previous M5 rocket because of a new computer system that can perform its own checks and can be assembled quickly. Half the size of the H2A and a successor to the M5, Japan hopes this will be a turning point in cheaper and more efficient means of launching satellites into space. A much smaller team of 8 was involved in the launch, compared with the 150 needed for H2A, signalling a more competitive edge in the growing international industry.
And finally, here is Tricia with news of Thuraia's support of the Tigris River flotilla.
Thuraia Telecommunications is supporting Nature Iraq to raise awareness of the conservation of natural resources and cultural heritage of the Tigris and Euphrates River Valley. The company will be sponsoring the team with the Thuraia IP Plus broadband terminal, as well as airtime to help them stay connected as they embark on their inaugural journey down the river. Commencing from September the 15th to November the 8th, 2013, Nature Iraq, together with the Nature Iraq Foundation and the Waterkeepers Iraq, will recreate a journey down the Tigris River, starting in southeastern Turkey, travelling through Iraq to the south. In honour of the river's cultural heritage, the team will be using traditional boats and vessels to document and generate awareness towards the threats facing the waters of the Tigris, as well as the unique cultural heritage of Mesopotamia. The project seeks to showcase the importance of the Tigris River, as well as connect conservation issues with daily life and spur more people to take action towards conserving this vital waterway and ecosystem.
That's all for this week. Thanks for watching.